ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts and prepare for takeoff. I'd like to thank you for flying with us today. Hopefully we made your flight enjoyable. We're about to start making our final descent, so if you could please collect your belongings and prepare for landing, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Hello everyone, how are we doing? I hope you're doing good, Just gonna turn that, there we go. Making sure the stream looks good. I hope you're all doing amazing today. I'm here with my friend Doodle. Also goes by
Salutations.
I said also goes by Clouder Doodle. That's how you'll find him. Took a while for me to find you, honestly, when I first was trying to look for your channels. Like, I was like, I feel like he's not just a friend that hangs out around my crackle. This guy's funny enough that he has to make his own content somewhere on the internet.
I am trying.
You're trying, yeah.
Failing.
Hey, man, all it takes is
the voices in my head.
Hey, man, here's the thing. You just got, I know it's hard, but the more you focus on the negative, the more that becomes all you focus on, man.
I am aware.
Well, I
but
know. I just gotta give advice. I gotta help. I want friends to be successful. Okay. I want them to be happy. I want people to find happiness. But so,
Same.
I'm very curious because you're a VR chat content creator, and also well, not just a VR chat content creator, but I do a
little bit of gaming. I chat a lot with people.
Addicted to Verotrauma.
Times, yes.
Yes.
Give me the puck. I need the puck. I want it so bad. Give me the funny suit. Auto injection.
I need to try the Verotrauma at some point with some funny people. That's what I need to do.
Just make sure that the medic guy is not going to put any narcotics into your funny suit.
Oh boy, that would.
It will. Once you get hurt, it will auto inject anything that's in it, and you will see and hear funny things.
Oh boy,
demonic
definitely recommend Verotrauma. I will definitely get.
It's a very good game.
As long as I find some funny people to play it with, I'll give it a try. As long because
hi.
Yes, I know you.
Am I funny enough?
Yes, you are, and I want to get into that.
Can I be content? Well, technically, I am being content right now.
You are, and also this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time you've asked me, like, if this is content, because that's literally one of my video titles. Is literally you gave me a video title because you just ran up to me and started going, "Is this content?" and making some very provocative moves onto me in VR chat.
Ah. I see.
I'm very curious though. So how
actually, I think I do remember that as well.
You might, yeah. That video I really enjoyed making. That was fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was a good time. I'm very curious though. I want to ask you. So, you know what? Let's start out small. Doodle. How did that name come to be?
How that name come to? Oh boy. Back when I was a lot younger.
Oh boy, your chat's. I think these are your friends.
There was this beautiful, amazing, not toxic at all website called 4chan.
Oh boy, 4chan.
And at some point they decided to take over some wacky company's little project thingy called Second Life. And I hung around some people. I met some cool people. We did some questionable things together, and at some point there was like this family whatever the fuck thing that people did, and one of them was Doodle. So we all slapped the name Doodle at the end of our names, and mine kind of stuck. Since then, I have somewhat lost contact with all those people, but
reminds me of
the memory, the name's still there.
Because originally I tried getting on YouTube, but when I picked Active Genesis, I picked it for two reasons. One was because I liked the idea of the name's meaning basically means actively creating something new. But also, I originally wanted to basically kind of create like a YouTube clan, like a YouTube group where everyone had active at the beginning of their name. So I can very much kind of relate to that. Like it was like I had my friend be Active Wolf, and another friend was wanted to be Active Panda. It was funny like that. Also,
yes, Active hasn't streamed in an hour. In a year.
Oh boy, don't hurt me, okay? That was me. That is very often me. Also, your chat is making a lot of jokes at your expense. I'm assuming. I mean, your friends are making jokes in my chat. I think.
Wait, hold on. I need to wait a second. Yeah, I actually didn't open it. I just posted it.
They're saying, "Don't worry about any sounds coming from the med bay." They say. Says I do not exist. Max Sink says, "Heard this Doodle guy is a big fan of Max Sinkster."
Max, I'm getting you that ref sheet.
Oh my gosh! So
you will not stop me.
So how'd you discover VR chat?
I discovered VR chat. No, actually, even before the Ugandan craze happened, yeah. I am very focused on stuff that goes on the internet. Well, I was a lot more back then. Like and anything that like kind of new and exciting that popped up, I'm like, oh, gimme! I want to try that. Whoop. And I bumped into VR chat, and since I am kind of a weird, somewhat antisocial, very anxious, which actually sometimes doesn't come through, and people are like, "Wait, what?" Yes, I considered that it would maybe help if I got to talk to some more people after the first kind of initial push that I got to be a bit more social, which actually ended up being very, very well received by myself through finding a lot of friends, joining a community that was actually pretty sizable, and got to hang out a lot, have some fun, enjoy the thing it was about. Would you like to know what it was?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It was the bronies.
Oh, bronies. Oh, give me a sec. There we go. It happened that I fixed it. But really, the bronies.
Yes.
Oh boy, that's the community you got roped into. I'm not no disrespect to bronies, no disrespect to bronies, but I've always just found the community interesting around My Little Pony.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was just fun, and since I was
a brony, I'm subbing.
I this whole character thing started being a horse.
And it evolved into
these colors and everything have not changed
since the start.
Then. Everything has stayed the same. Ow!
Did you just hit yourself in the face? Oh my god.
Maybe.
It almost sounded like it almost looked like you hit yourself in the chest though. It almost looked like you just like completely hit your chest as hard as you could. Oh boy. But okay, so you basically you basically kind of, when you got on VR chat, you kind of got pulled into the brony community.
No, it was before that.
Oh, before that.
Since the whole brony thing kind of died down, and people started going on their own thing, I was looking to, be a bit more social again. Try to find new friends and hang out with people, because I usually don't get to do that in person. And it apparently worked out. What's up, bud? How you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Probably a lot of the friends in my chat you probably met through VR chat. I'd be surprised if you didn't.
Yeah, a couple.
a couple. And did you was VR chat? When did you decide to become a content creator then?
Like I said, I like to be social. Sometimes I like to be a bit wacky and figure new stuff out about myself, like things I could do, things that people find interesting and entertaining. Because a part of the reason why I stuck around is I don't know, I care a lot about others, a lot more than myself, and
which isn't healthy, but
I'm just so you can't deny that even as a content creator, if you're trying to be healthy, the stress of keeping up is not healthy.
No, there's a lot.
And you can definitely very easily overwork yourself.
Oh, very much. Oh, very much so.
I wish I would do that. But no, I haven't streamed in a while. Oh god.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's hard to get up and actually stream, especially if you don't like it.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially when it comes to Twitch, in my opinion, Twitch, you have to have some really good idea, or just, already have to have an established supportive community to really grow on Twitch.
I did have a couple people around back when like the initial boom of VR chat happened, and people like the Kinetic team and Hazard and whatever were still around, and I was pulling a solid 30.
That's not bad.
I got up to 1,000 followers pretty quick, and then things started to crumble. People started to change and do very questionable, dubious things that got them expelled from their own server and platform.
That wasn't you, right? I'm pretty sure we're talking about a blue dragon, right? Yeah, I figured. Yep. Just nod. just nod and wave, boys. And
I wonder what he's doing. I kind of miss him. I just want to
Did you see in my interview with McCrackle? That McCrackle thinks he might have cited him at TwitchCon last year.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I immediately was like, where?
I know.
Show me the direction. I will go and scream.
I feel like there needs to be if there's anyone that'd be interesting to interview, if not just okay. I would want to interview just for the sake of finding out what the thought process was behind all of those
VTuber, you know it.
Oh boy. And then also, yeah, content is hard, yeah. Doodle your zippers. But yeah, no. So I mean I can see that with that all happening, that things came crumbling down. I do know there's not a lot of people that hop on VR chat anymore, especially not on my friends list. It's very much it's a rare. Yeah, I feel like now, if you're gonna hop on VR chat, you have to message everyone and be like, "Look, let's have some fun. Let's all get on VR chat. Let's make plans and just do something." I don't care what.
See, I did it differently. I just invited everyone I knew onto my server. Like every single person in that server I know, I have spoken to. I think actually, there's like a very 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 few people that some other friends invited to go play games and stuff and hang out a little bit. But the majority of that is all people I know.
Why
that I've met and stuff. Huh?
I'm just under my breath trying to read chat. I tend to read out loud. I apologize.
Oh, you're good. I do the same thing.
I'm bad about that. It's one thing I need to do better about. It's why, again, I need to set my Stream Deck just so that way I can press the mute button and mute myself on Discord when I'm talking to chat. But hey, that's funny. Somebody said that, Maxink said those pesky blue dragons. Honestly, but yeah, no, it's but yeah, no.
Nexie gets a pat. Here, one.
I feel like, I really feel like the only time now I can hop VR chat. I mean, I already was feeling it. I want to say 2021. I was trying to VR chat, but it felt awkward because when I get on there, we're not a lot of people anymore in 2021, and so, and especially we're in 2023. God, 2022. Yeah, again, same feelings. It just got worse. I feel like
all the 2020s so far have been very
meh.
Very not great.
No, 2022, all the 2020s have not been amazing so far. I personally think 2020 was my best, because my best year as a content creator and my best year of making friends. I wouldn't have met you if I hadn't gone on VR chat in 2020. I wouldn't have met anybody. But, so, that's why I'm very grateful for the chance I got on VR chat. I actually want to ask you, so, how did you meet McCrackle then?
Oh! I actually remember that. It was in one of the older hubs, and before that, I befriended someone named some green cat girl called Corvo, and they happened to be friends with McCrackle. And I think while he was streaming, like one of his like older models, I bumped into them. In that hub world, like on the side, I have it. It's burned into my head. To the left, there were some stairs. Then there were some barriers that you don't fall off. There was one tree there, one tree there. The building on the wall here with an entrance to the right. And McCrackle just doing the old streamer just chat
looking
stare.
At his hand. Yeah, looking at his hand.
Walks around like, oh hey.
Oh god.
And it's like, aren't you one of Core's friends as well? Yeah, and just asked him how's he doing, yada yada yada, and we just added each other, and he went on his merry way. And since then, I kept hanging out with him a little bit, bothering him, tormenting him while he's streaming. Which is
perfect, because that leads to my next question then, because McCrackle described you in a perfect way, which as a viewer and a fan of McCrackle, and even just you in general from watching from McCrackle's content, this is something that I think was a very true opinion, was for a long time, you became the antagonist of McCrackle's channel. Anytime you do a challenge, it was like, everyone's like, okay, when is Doodle going to show up and completely make McCrackle lose? That was what everyone would expect, is McCrackle's doing a challenge, Doodle's going to make him lose, or be the big challenge.
You know how bad that got?
How bad?
So bad that I did have my Discord server be a lot more open back then, and I had so many people join my server
to get to him. I bet
try to message me and ask me, hey, when is he doing this? are you guys doing that? You should be doing more of this. Hey, could you get me like to talk to McCrackle and all that stuff? And I'm like, all right, locking the door. Key gone. That thing stays shut.
Yeah, I don't blame
If anyone
you.
comes in, swinging through the window.
Yeah, that's one of the things, and I will say I'm guilty of doing that for a couple content creators when I was just getting into content creation. I think I did try doing that to get to. I can think of 2 creators like I tried to do that too. The big one I can think of. Do you know Snedger and Buys? Have you heard of those 2 content creators?
No.
Okay, they make all kinds of content. So this was back when they made a lot of Rainbow Six content and GTA 5 content like that. They make really funny content there. Left screen is VR chat, yes.
Yes.
Because that's what Doodle wanted to be doing, which I'm perfect.
I like to be
in 3D
expressive.
Yeah, expressive.
I especially at
that's
TwitchCon.
Doodle's fan cam. Oh my god, they're saying that's Doodle's fan cam IRL. I don't really know what a fan cam is, but I think it's like these things VTubers are doing where they show their IRL self to their viewers. I think it's something like that.
I used to have a fan face cam and stuff while I was streaming, and then I got a bit more anxious and stuff happened and I was uncomfortable with it, so I yeeted it out the window.
Yeah, I can totally understand being uncomfortable. Face cam. I'm sorry, they meant face cam. They said face cam, not fan cam. I don't know why I read fan cam. It's Doodle's face cam.
I mean, there is something I could think about it. Some people would call fan cam.
Oh my god. But let's see.
Check out my OnlyFans.
Oh my god. But
no, wait, hold on. It's Fansly now, is it?
That's the main. I think that's the most popular one right now. I think.
Okay.
But I like how it's slowly, it's basically becoming like, how at first there was Netflix, and then now there's just a million other like copycats, like got HBO Max, Disney Plus, all these things. I feel like that's what's happening with the adult entertainment industry.
It has become something just very concerning for me, considering that how much of that I'm seeing at this point, where it's become such the norm for a lot of people to make their income with. Yeah. And I mean, if you're fine with it, all right, but please be mindful
of children,
of who your viewers are, what your community is made up of, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Don't just be like, yes, or give me your money.
Yeah, no, you gotta be careful about that, because some people, it's a very easy way of getting money from people is making content like that. I feel like, but then,
it's easy,
but it's
a lot of people are very horny. Just look at Markiplier's tasteful nude calendar, and how he was absolutely baffled, but I was absolutely not surprised how many people bought it to the point where it smashed, I think, all of his donation goals ever.
I think it's funny that it completely crashed the website. I think that's even funnier.
Like, you could have jumped into any of his other sales that he did for charity.
Mm-hmm.
Why that one?
Well, I think it was pretty obvious. A lot, it's the internet, and that's the thing. Again, and while I say yes, it can be an easy source of income, but it can also be hard, both on your mental health and some people. It is difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's like it's a different kind of content that people delve into. That I both respect it, but I also think anyone who's taking advantage of it just for the monetary gain, kind of bad. But
hey, can I quickly answer a question from one of the
yeah.
Reniel, Joshua,
just
Banana.
Call Joshua. Yeah, just call him Joshua. That works. Is a bunny and a Nanachi the same thing?
First of all, it would be a rabbit. Secondly, Nanachi is a
character from Made in the Abyss.
A mutation.
Yes, is a mutation.
Yes.
And the Nazis have only mutated since then.
Under certain circumstances that have happened to them, they were mutated in a way that was a lot less horrid and awful
than what happened to the dog in blue.
Their friend.
Oh,
their friend.
I was gonna say to the girl in what's it called? Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh no! Please don't remind me.
That was I mean, then again, the Made in Abyss mutation's much worse.
Made in Abyss, very highly recommend. It's good stuff.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it for me.
It is very good stuff. You need to watch it as soon as possible because I will not be able to shut my mouth forever.
Oh my god, PTSD intensifies. Oh boy, yeah, no, that dog, yeah. Oh god. Oh man, I'm actually curious. So, when you became like, did you have any haters then over the whole things you do in McCrackle's challenges?
I don't remember because most of them I just blipped out because there was just so much spam.
Yeah, the thing is, I bet
there might be I guess there was a couple general just like furry haters, and I don't know, people who like
a furry model that much around him. You mainly use your humanoid version.
Yeah, true. The old anime cell.
Yeah.
My very first avatar that one of my old VR chat friends made for me.
Well, yeah, that's what I
occasionally pop up on his streams in the.
And that one. Ah, okay. I guess yeah.
When I finally got it.
Most of the content I saw from McCrackle wasn't so much his streams as much as it was his videos, but that's mainly because I've always been someone who I typically don't have time to watch streams because I'm always like I'm either always at work or I'm busy trying to make content or I'm trying to just use my. I have too many hobbies as well. I have way too many hobbies.
Look, chat. It's a heart. It's a heart, chat.
It is. It's a heart on your arm.
Isn't that cute?
Those are fighting words. I miss McCrackle on Flare Snare ship. Oh boy. There were a lot of ships, I feel like, in VR chat between content creators for some reason. Flare was also another antagonist in his challenges, weren't they?
Flare, in some cases, I think Flare was a bit worse than me.
Really?
For certain reasons. I was still being considerate about certain things. Other people, again, not saying that they were. They kind of were. Very horny.
Oh boy. And, okay. I mean, you know what? I guess I could have seen that. Like, I feel like yours was more joking, but I guess some of the other people... Oh boy. I have to say that
a lot of things I do that it seems I'm acting like I'm more serious. I'm probably joking, and when I feel when I'm acting like I'm joking, or when I sound like that I'm joking, I'm actually being more serious because otherwise it'd be too awkward to talk about things.
Oh boy. You know,
and I'm also trying to lighten up the mood a little bit when I'm talking about something serious. So I'm being weird and loud and flailing my arms around.
Oh, okay, now I see why. Chat is saying that they're mad at Mac because he said that Made in Abyss is mid. What is he to say to that, Doodle?
I'm trying to think about Oh god. Oh no.
Oh boy.
You're streaming, right?
I am streaming, so if you got harsh words, maybe hold them for after stream. Oh boy. Let's see. I'm also wondering, so when you got into, you know, all the VR chat and all the different groups, out of all of them, I'm curious, like, did you ever face actually, that's, you know, I was gonna say, have you ever faced anyone who accused you of clout chasing? Because I feel like you probably haven't, but I could be wrong. Because I feel like that was a big thing. That's always been a big problem with content creators in VR chat, or just anybody who's friends with a content creator.
See, very, very great advice. If someone's being a douche, and being intentionally mean to you, don't give a damn. Just
Don't give a damn.
Take that voice
and delete it. You just remove it. That's smart. That's smart. That's always very smart. Oh, man.
If it's not important, and if it's just some absolute nonsense that people are spouting, and you yourself know that it is not true, and you're confident that it's not true, and you're sticking through to who you prefer to be, then it does not affect you at all.
Mm-hmm.
You can just not care. Because the second you give signals back to them, they're like, oh, I'm right because you did this thing, and you acted like this, and then you said that, which could mean nothing, but I am upset for no good reason, so I'm going to blow it up on social media.
Oh yeah, like people for me, like I think people like, but you know, if it weren't, you know what's funny is I bet people would try and cancel me for saying that I'm not the biggest fan of. Okay, how do I say this in a way that's not gonna? Oh, you're floating away. Nope. So for me, I have for the longest time I was scared of furries. Main reason being, as a kid,
valid concern.
Yes.
Valid concern.
And like, I'm not gonna say I don't like furries, because that's not the true. Because I have a lot of friends who are furries that have, you know, they're awesome people. There's nothing wrong with being a furry, in my opinion. The only things that really bug me is one thing that annoys me. This is just a minor annoyance. Is when people try to convince you you're a furry, like over the smallest thing. It's
Max. Like... Max.
Oh boy.
Cat boy incoming.
Oh boy. But the thing that really, though, it's not, again, the thing that gets me about furries is the fursuits. And the reason why isn't because I dislike them, it's because they terrify me. I've always been terrified of, I guess it's mascots. I wouldn't say I have a phobia, because I know when I see them, it's not as terrifying.
I mean,
but it's kind of creepy to me. Like, I've always like, I would hate what I did not like Barney the Dinosaur or Sesame Street. Big Bird gave me nightmares at night anytime.
Oh.
What were you gonna say?
Understandable.
And then also then there's also the fact that and I only witnessed this recently on a VR chat stream, but people in the furry community are quite down bad, and in a way that
some people are.
Some. Like the person came up to me and pet my chest and she purred at me, which was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, you gotta first if you're in VR chat, first you gotta assess what is their avatar. If they're one of these, careful.
Yeah, I'm not touching Nanachis anymore.
I'm
never touching Nanachis anymore. That's the exact reason. I was in a Nanachi avatar. I'm never touching it again.
Technically, they're called Narehate, or hollows. Nanachi is just the character that was turned into a hollow.
Gotcha.
But everyone's too lazy to call it the right thing.
Most furries and horrendous, says Wolf in my chat.
I mean, with a lot of communities.
Let's say that. Let's actually rephrase. It's even worse. Most people who play VR chat are down horrendous, or at least a decent amount. I wouldn't even say. I don't know if I should say majority, but a lot of people.
What it is partially is that this stuff gives you the freedom to just come out of yourself more. But since most of these kinds of people, like me, are introverts.
Yep.
Or also very, very sporadic extroverts. They don't tend to know what the norm is, know what is common sense, and as to how to act around people fully. If you haven't been able to be around a lot of people, and since this gives you the opportunity to do that, you're coming a lot more out of yourself. You're trying things out. you want to be how you want to be, which is valid. Which is a good thing, not to suppress yourself and ball up and just cry and say the world's so bad and that you're scared. And yeah, that tends to be for some people. God, words. I'm actually nervous.
yeah, be careful what you say because you.
Oh no, I'm just nervous because this is like my first interview.
Well, hey, I mean, I hope you're enjoying yourself. I try to make it relaxing.
Oh, I am. I like talking to people a lot.
And here's the thing, I feel like a lot of people like to talk about themselves, but they just feel like they'll be seen as what's the word I'm looking for? Egotistical if they talk. It's not
even talking about myself. It's just talking in general.
True.
Hanging out, having fun.
That's why I don't know if these are really interviews as much as it's a talk show. It's basically a talk show, and rather than.
I mean, you're still asking me questions about myself. I'm still answering them.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're having a discussion back and forth about whatever we're talking about. So yes, and I do not exist says you're doing great. You're getting some support from the chat. What do you have to say for yourself, Doodle?
You're great.
There we go.
And kind of cute, to be honest.
You know, let's put that on a poster, but a YouTube short. You're kind of cute. Or like, what is it? It's like, you're great and kind of cute, to be honest. That's both a good shirt or like, like a poster for like joining the military, like those kind of posters you see, like you'll see in like Fable, where it's like, we want you. It's more like, you are great and cute. That is words.
I'll be kind of concerned.
Imagine the army's just trying to tell people you are cute. Join the army, join our adorable.
Join the Navy.
Join the Navy. Be adorable.
I've seen so many memes that the Navy is just filled with furries.
Really?
I don't know. It is a recurring thing that I keep seeing pop up, and I'm like, is it really that bad? I don't know. I'm not American. I'm German.
True, fair. I always forget that because like your accent is almost non-existent.
I am very happy about that.
Why is that?
Even hearing the language makes me just.
Why?
I don't because everything in this life so far, that had everything that just not been fun, not been a pleasant experience. So everything I associate with the stuff that happened is an immediate just.
That just shivers down your spine.
Just it exists. Oh
god.
It's fine. I will tolerate it, but don't.
Oh my god. I don't know much about Germany, but I feel like I feel like nowadays it has a much more like positive. Like the world I feel like has a more positive view on Germany than what is it, like a century ago? I feel like it's a lot more positive. Because I feel like the world I feel like has definitely come to like everyone's come to become more friendly with each other for the most part.
A lot of parts of the world, some parts of the world, and then there's some stuff to the wherever the east
guys. is. Yeah, to the east of you. That's not
so sad
right now. It's
so sad. So sad. Why?
I don't know. It happens.
Just let us finally go to space.
Yeah, let's can we all work together? Shit. Yeah, can we just like
just
but there's always gonna be somebody out there that's gonna have a disagreement and they choose violence instead of negotiations or just agreeing to disagree and walking away. I wish that would exist more.
Like a lot of things at this point should I even have it as a tag under my streams. Common sense is pretty cool.
Yep.
Being unreasonably mean to someone for very questionable and not good or understandable reasons at all is why?
Not great.
You don't want that to happen to you.
Nope.
Do you? Do you want to lose all of what you want to lose what you've had so
far? You
want
to end up like you want to end. I mean, you know.
Do you want bad memories? Do you?
We can dial it back from talking about politics and instead talk about be like, hey, listen, do you really want to end up?
It's not even politics. It's just like
human beings.
Just in general, just humans that are acting out for
personal gain,
or some headcanon they have.
Yeah, some belief they have. Like, don't end up like a certain blue dragon. You know, you don't become very popular anymore. You can't lose your popularity.
Yeah.
That whole situation was messy. It's like I don't understand why people have to lie to make money. It's like it's just don't do that. I get it. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Here's the thing: weren't they already successful? Wasn't that blue dragon doing pretty well off, anyways?
Well, but more. I mean, they were a dragon, so hoarding time.
Oh god, maybe that's why they chose a dragon. See. Oh god, that's scary. I don't like to think about that.
Okay, away from that as well. Back to me.
Yes.
Because I'm amazing, right? I am so cool and wacky.
Well, yeah, like
and stuff.
And here's the thing. You know, I feel like you and me. Okay, let me. How do I say this in a way that doesn't? Just don't read into it too much if it sounds like I'm saying something rude, okay? Because I'm trying to give me a sec to explain this. So I've met a lot of people around McCrackle, a lot of people, and through him, and out of all of them, I will say the one I was most excited to meet was you because of how entertaining you were on screen. And meeting you in person just felt way more real. And it felt like I met someone I could click with. And I can't say that about everyone I've met through McCrackle. There have been a fair amount of people who have even muted me, blocked me, or just didn't like me, or just like I just didn't feel like in an interaction.
I did also hear a couple people say that you were the one clout chasing.
Really? Because I even asked McCrackle if he thought I was, and he even pulled me aside. I was like, dude, you're not clout chasing. Which is the main reason I kept hanging around, is because McCrackle told me, dude, you're fine. You're actually engaging with us.
There's a somewhat fine line that people tend to just stretch out as far as they can because reasons, and between just wanting to hang out with someone because you think they're cool
and wanting to hang out with them for monetary or clout,
or no, just like wanting to be their friend, or like being a way too intrusive fan.
True. That's a very better way to say that. It's
like, oh, you suddenly want to hang out with this guy you've never met before, and you know that he's like streaming, right? Or that he's like famous and stuff. You totally want to use that, right? Like we do. I mean, we don't. We just want to be friends too. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I personally I've never how do I explain it? Yes, it's awesome to get to know bigger content creators and hang out with them. And I've met a fair decent amount, but there is some of them that I'm like, I still don't feel comfortable with reaching out because I feel like I'll pester them, or maybe they'll think I'm clout chasing. There's a fair amount of them. And so for me, that fear keeps me away for a lot of them, but others I start to want to hang out with more because of the fact I feel like I genuinely made a connection there. And I'm like, okay, I want to see where this goes, and I want to, try to keep a friendly relationship because I don't, here's the thing. I don't want to clout chase. If I want to meet somebody and talk to them, if anything, it's why I'm glad I chose the route of interviewer, because it gives me a massive excuse to sit down and talk to somebody, which is generally, hands down, the biggest thing I've wanted to do with people. Is if it's somebody I look up to, or they entertain me, they make me laugh, no matter what, if I see somebody and I want to get to know them, it's like, now I can just go, hey, listen, I do interviews. Would you like to sit down and chat with me?
Hey, I found this funny loophole to steal your time and make some content. Come in.
Not even that. It's just I found a loophole to actually just get to know you that doesn't rely on the awkwardness of I don't know.
It still feels awkward.
It does and it doesn't. I don't know.
I don't usually talk about things. and especially not in this like super public manner thing.
Yeah.
With a live interview.
Yeah, I know it's a lot, and I guess that's a big like there's only a couple people who do live interviews, and that I know of. Like most people tend to only do recordings because here's the thing: you can be a lot more personal and be a lot more open when you do a recorded interview.
Also, chat can ask questions if they're curious,
and that is another reason why I stream it, because then chat can give you more questions.
No connection.
You lagged a bit.
There?
Oh, good? My internet's dying. My internet's dying. No.
No. Panic.
Okay, come on. Bitrate. Survive. Panic. Oh, we're coming back. I think we're coming back. Are we good?
Hello? Are we?
It looks like we're good. It looks like I'm back. Yep, we're fine. We're fine.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I like the interviews doing live because yeah, chat can ask questions. And here's the thing: if I ever want to do because here's the thing. It lets people know that I want to chat with them, get to know them. But, and yes, it is in a way content, but doing it with having a chat there, I like sharing that moment live so the viewers can ask questions that come up, or if they see something they want to ask, they can ask it. Stop panicking, gosh. I don't know. I don't know. Personally, I don't know what's better, doing it live or recording it.
Panic, come.
I almost thought you were saying panic come, but
that's you. That's you want to hear that. That's your. You heard that. I didn't say that. Don't put cum in my mouth. Don't put words in my mouth.
Whoa, excuse me. Hello.
Huh?
Okay, whatever. We're moving on, but I don't know. It's like, have you personally ever felt the fear of when you make a friend that you just are either going to be a bother, or it's like.
Constantly. I constantly worry about being too much. And I constantly ask people hey, I'm actually pretty chill. I want to be pretty chill, but sometimes I'm not. So tell me when I'm being too much.
Yeah, and that's what you should do as a friend is, be yourself, but tell them confront you, be honest and open with you if there's a problem.
Like what the example earlier where there's people you asking in advance to act the way you want to, or just do in general. You're asking for consent if that's okay, and just to let the other person tell you when it's not, and not have a weird, colorful bunny thing come up at you and go. Ugh.
Yeah, that's not comfortable. I'll tell you that right now. It's but yeah, no, you gotta ask for boundaries and all that. Oh man,
respect the boundaries. The people that you don't know yet.
I'm a little curious.
Get to know them first,
but I'll ask.
Penetrate.
No, do not do that. Do not.
That social circle.
Oh,
their
cool.
social bubble. What the hell are you talking? What are you thinking about, huh?
You said okay, penetrate the social bubble. Okay, I thought we were trying to make a human centipede, but with different things.
The day started out so well.
Oh,
beginning my night, not expecting the fright of my life. I love that song.
I don't know. The internet is a scary place to make friends because a lot of people. I feel like people are both. They want to make more friends here, but at the same time they're more scared. There's a lot more paranoia there. I feel like.
To be honest, it's worse in person.
Really?
Meeting up in real life, it is worse in person. For some people, it might be worse online, since how things can just blow up on you, and you can literally just not stop it because someone posts something, people react to it, and just go, and you have a rumor.
Yep.
And then you wake up the next morning, and half the people you knew have you blocked. You have someone sending you hate mail, some stuff like that. I'm like, wow, that went down bad.
Yeah, really. And then that's the one thing is it's just one bad take can get everyone against you. It really can. I feel like people are becoming way more sensitive nowadays to things. And
it's always funny for me to put a quote I heard some time ago is, how did a generation raised by South Park be so easily offended?
Probably because a lot of people like myself never watched South Park.
Like, I don't like, especially during that time. How did we lose so much progress that we did so quickly? Welcome to the internet to have a look around.
I think it's because the internet started realizing that if enough of a mass of people decide they don't like somebody, they can gang up and cancel them.
Yeah, the cancel culture can cancel itself, please. Just
yep. It's why with the whole new, like, because I'm trying not to report on news, I think I'm gonna need to be careful because I do not want to influence any more cancel culture. I want it to die. It's like,
it's bad.
It's not good. It's like, yes, people do bad things, can disagree with their opinions, but canceling someone doesn't make sense. And I don't understand publicly shaming someone. If you have it, say someone, you know, like, unless someone's doing bad kind of stuff, like a certain musician. Then yes. No, cancel culture bad. Well, yeah, but if they're doing something that's truly horrendous, I feel like it needs to be taken to the court of law before you post it online.
There's especially I finally logged back into Twitter after like weeks or so.
Yeah.
And the first thing I found was just immediately some other streamer going after another, just some other streamers community going after another streamer in that same category, and just hate mail, threats, and whatever. It's just blowing up in their feed. Why? Why?
It's bad.
Why?
It shouldn't happen.
For what reason?
It doesn't make sense to me, and I hate it. It's like, I think cancel culture is one of the worst things you can do. Here's the thing. If someone truly has wronged a lot of people, yeah, share the news. Yes, that way people are aware maybe this person's not so great. But don't rally a mob and be like, hey, this person did some mean things, and I want to ruin their whole livelihood. That's a bit
and no
much.
Good.
No, like, and yes, no share awareness if somebody's done wrong. Don't try to ruin their life.
Simpsons or South Park? South Park.
I don't watch either, so I don't have a good opinion. All I know is that Homer fought a chicken.
Oh yeah, Homer fought the chicken. Did Homer fight the chicken from Family Guy?
Or wait, hold on. Was that Family Guy? Actually, I could be wrong. I thought it was Simpsons. I don't know anymore.
Peter from Family Guy keeps fighting the restaurant mascot.
So I'm the one. So see, this is why I don't know anything. I never watch Adult Swim content. I didn't. Really
I barely watch anything as well. I just pick things up from
clips. Yeah,
stuff from funny things that blow up and memes, and YouTube videos.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff at this point that I'm just like, that's still a thing, right? No? Oh, it's called this now. People are doing this? That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Things are just developing so rapidly and then becoming completely null, like the next day.
Well, yeah, no, stuff like that. That's also something that's horrible. It's like somebody can get canceled, and then immediately the next day, the entire bandwagon is now trying to cancel the next person, and the next person, and the next person.
It's not just the cancel thing. Cancel thing aside, because again, bad mood.
Well, just drama. There's always
like
something
new. Someone does like a funny face or a single letter word. Just says a single letter, and everyone just goes, ah.
Yeah, did you see how fast the drama with the Will Smith slap meme died? It was like a week, and then immediately everyone just stopped caring.
There's still, I still see new meme videos pop up.
Oh, I do too, but it's not like, it's not like like the first week though is like there's so much drama and news channels reporting on it, and then after that week was over, no one cared.
Again, out with the pad, in with the doodle.
In with the doodle. Oh boy. Man.
I don't know. Talking about more lighter, at least trying to talk about lighter things.
Yeah.
So where were we? Where did we leave off?
Well, there's a lot we like. I don't know. I don't even know where we would have left off.
See, okay, we talked about my origins. The brony thing.
What are you trying to do now?
Oh my god. Huh?
Oh, let's go on. What were you gonna say first?
I'm just gonna go back, all the way from the back again. Talked about the origin thing, the brony stuff. Actually reached out to a bunch of those people that I knew back then, and still kind of somewhat kept contact with. And holy crap, some of them got very successful. One of my friends apparently is the world record holder for the biggest laser projection in the world.
Really? Wow.
And he does like a bunch of event stuff. He posted on his Twitter, just work in progress, and he did lights for stuff like big sports events, for the Eurovision Song Contest, for
a lot of things. You never know what somebody can accomplish.
You never know what a Brody could accomplish.
I never know what a Brody could accomplish. So, I got
a lot of those
people. I was gonna say, I got a good question for you. Was what do you plan to do now with your content?
Get back to it first.
Well, and what does that like? What's the word I'm looking for? What does that consist of? What does that mean really? Like, what kind of content are you wanting to make? Just funny moments with friends, or anything special?
Right now, one of my biggest issues is that the voices in my head are so loud. I need others to blur them out for me. So I'm just more fixated on trying to get to play games or just hang out with friends in general.
Yeah.
Instead of playing games on my own, just streaming that and streaming in general.
Well, yeah.
Like I did with Nier, like I did with Death Stranding, like I did with the Walking Dead Telltale series, and a bunch of other single-player games. I did all of that.
Want to know a good tip I have for you? I have a good tip. Huh? This is what I do with single-player games. I invite a friend or two to join me and be backseat gamers, because it just makes it a really fun stream.
I didn't even need that. I was just doing them on my own.
And you had a good time?
Good games. Yes, I was vibing.
Well, okay, so does that mean games are getting worse now, would you say?
Oh, I've seen so many videos like that pop up now. And especially like one of those videos had a fair point where, well, it is obvious that just gaming in general has turned from a niche thing, you know, nerds do gaming, to
mainstream
money.
Mainstream, and money. People want to make money. It's like you see a bunch of microtransactions. Like Halo Infinite is ruined, and it's just
Halo. A friend of mine posted a link from like the developer stuff and layoffs and stuff that happened, and they're just like, yeah, Halo's dead.
Oh yeah, no, Halo is dying, and it's sad to see. Halo used to be
it is
the
dead.
Best.
Halo is. There was a comment under one of those posts saying that Master Chief could fight the Covenant, the Flood, save the galaxy, but he couldn't defeat capitalism.
Nope. Do not defeat capitalism. I mean, they ruined the freaking TV show. They had so much that they could have made it so good.
No,
they completely screwed it up. Dude, the books were so good. They could have easily took it. It's like, imagine like so many of the books they could have just made a movie off of, or a TV show off of just one book.
Do I act like a nut?
Joshua's asks some interesting questions sometimes.
What does
I don't even know what a Nachi acts like. They're just a person.
Do you think I do that noise like nah the whole time?
Because that's not Doodle. Doodle doesn't.
I do other noises.
Okay. Oh my God. Jesus. Oh. Then there's the pufferfish. Oh, I can't do it. Doodle meows every single day. I've seen it. Says Mac.
Mac? You don't want me to tell them about your noises that you make, do you?
I don't need to know this, and I don't think YouTube would let me hear them. Or know about them. Oh boy. The biggest thing I will say that I've seen the internet take such a drastic turn towards lewd content. I won't lie, sometimes seeing up people
I already said that earlier. It's just, it should not be the norm. bad. Give me the weird, loud weirdos back from like the early 2010s and stuff like that. Those were cool. Those were actually good content. Not this washed out, just churned out content that is like very samey, and it just heavily depends on the person that is making that content.
Yep.
There are some people who do a certain type of content that is original to the point where it's actually entertaining again because the person is becoming more entertaining than what their content is about.
Yeah, they're becoming entertaining
like a certain lobster boy who's doing actually pretty freaking good for himself.
Oh yeah, no, McCrackle's new content's so good. I'm glad he didn't delete his VR chat content, and it's also in a playlist that people can still go and watch.
Yeah, I can still go back and watch the absolute horror that was my mage show.
Yeah, mate. And then, dude, the freaking maid challenge that McCrackle did was pretty funny too.
How many?
I know he's done a lot. He's done a lot. Dude.
He's done a lot of challenges.
I kind of miss the chaos that he would cause, where he'd just run into Publix, and I even got roped into a couple. Like he joined. Either I joined on him or he joined on me, and was like, "Goldfish now, copy," and we ran around in Publix as Goldfish, just causing mayhem for like.
I could actually use a carrot.
You could use a carrot. Oh my gosh, carrots are good. I ate some carrots earlier myself with some ranch. It was pretty good. I don't know.
And again, Nanachi is not a rabbit. Nanachi is a mutated child.
Yes, it's not even an animal. It's more just a person that's been mutated. Oh my gosh, I'm curious. What are some of your favorite anime? I'm curious.
Well, there's Made in Abyss.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Is this Cyberpunk one considered anime? Or is that a cartoon?
What?
The Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk's an anime, I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty good.
I think it counts. I need to watch it.
Anime are made in Japan. Everything else is a cartoon.
That's true, I guess. I mean, then that's I don't know. It's weird. Anime, yeah.
That's literally what it says.
Yeah.
That it is. It's
just. I mean, it's funny if you want
Japanese cartoons, also called anime.
Remember Code Lyoko? Ever watched that show? Or no?
Sounds familiar.
It was a cartoon that was created by some French people that took inspiration from Japan's anime, and they made a show about basically this virus that was trying to enter the real world and destroy humanity. And these people who discovered this factory would run around. They'd go into Lyoko, which basically was like Sword Art Online. They'd go in there, they'd materialize, and they'd have to fight these monsters and lead this one character to a tower so she could shut down Xana.
That just sounds like guns.
I don't even know. Guns? What do you mean?
GANTZ.
I don't know if I've heard of that one.
It's a very very meaty one.
Oh my god, I love that show. Code Lyoko was awesome. Code Lyoko was really good. That's an example of the French taking inspiration from Japan. I'm pretty. I mean, there's an example of other cultures taking inspiration from anime. You know, there's a lot of shows that have done that, like the Last Wish. You know, Puss in Boots 2, The Last Wish, such a good movie. Oh my god, a lot of the animation you could tell was inspired, or like some of the jokes were inspired off what you see in like anime nowadays. Oh my god, I think Pixar is on its up and up again. I think they're starting to make really good movies. I mean, I don't know if they've been known to make. I mean, they've made probably a few movies that fell flat, but if there's any studio of like the big studios, I think. Did I say Pixar or did DreamWorks? I don't, because I mean DreamWorks, not Pixar. DreamWorks. Because you got Kung Fu Panda, you got How to Train Your Dragon, you got, I'm pretty sure, Toy Story is DreamWorks as well.
Shrek.
You got a lot of good ones from DreamWorks.
Shrek is.
Oh yeah, it's Shrek. Yeah, exactly.
Shrek is 23 years old.
Yeah. Bro, how do you think I feel when I think about the fact that yeah, the first Xbox, so like Halo Combat Evolved, I think came out in like 2001. That hurts my soul to think that it's like 20 years old at this point, Halo, and I'm sitting here like I am turning 24 this year. This is scary. And also what also scares me is I started my YouTube channel in 2015. It's almost been 10 years since I've been trying to make content on YouTube.
Oh, you better work on that anniversary video.
I'm working on. Well, oh yeah, God, don't. What am I gonna do for a 10-year anniversary? Oh, that hurts. I thought you meant like the best of the year, not like 10 years. Oh boy. Hey yo, imagine aging. Yeah,
just constant cuts of certain times of your career where you just like you found them funny, and then you just like, and later and later and later and later to now.
Yeah.
And then you just like blast a bunch of clips and loud music and memes.
Christ, spine issues, bro. I'm bad. My spine hurts so much when because I'm trying to fix myself because my spine. I slouch way too much, dude. I have permanent marks on my stomach that it makes it look like I have a 6-pack, but I literally it's just stretch. It's like no, I don't know if I call them stretch marks. They're like crunch marks from just sitting in my chair in a very uncomfortable way.
I do that constantly too.
Right, it's nighttime in Scotland.
I don't do much. I wish I would do. I want to do a lot more.
You want?
I like traveling.
Oh,
I also want to learn an instrument.
I used to know how to play
traveling
piano.
Because I can see people that I like. I'm very lonely here.
Max said they're gonna head off to bed. So.
Oh. Good night, Max.
Yep. Also, speaking of traveling, ever since I watched Ben 10, that for some reason made me always want to get an RV and travel like the States to live in an RV on the go and do whatever.
One thing I really want to do, firstly, move to America. Secondly,
really,
road trip time.
Really, you want to move to America? Why is that?
Again, I'm very lonely here.
That
and I like to surround myself with the people that kind of seem like they care about me, and I care about them too, and they're also kind of cute.
Oh boy, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of the conveniences that America has over Germany as well, and it's like the cons don't outweigh the pros.
Yeah.
Getting the hell out of here.
Oh man, yeah, no, and that's interesting though. I don't know. It's always interesting because like I've been hearing more and more people say, "Oh, America sucks. I won't want to live there." It's interesting to run into somebody who's like, "I want to move to America someday."
All right, give me your house. You can live here, and I'll live in your place.
Oh my god.
Deal?
I don't think I agree to that deal. I'm good.
Oh.
Sorry.
But totally free and not misleading healthcare.
Really? Misleading? How?
It's not free. And it's not free. And it's well, scrolling the tape back a bit to the things that I'm currently doing or tried a bit that I have tried to do is therapy.
That's
this
always good.
And this not doing so hot. So when I unfortunately lost my job again right at the start of 2020. The worst time to lose your job because Corona was happening.
Yeah, right before quarantine.
I was living off of just the government people that just deal with people's jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like a little fun thing that they pay you out monthly so you can survive and go look for another job, which I did, and I kept getting kicked out because people personally, well, they wouldn't tell me why. I was doing what I was told. I guess I was just too wacky still. I only get along with a certain type of people, and everyone else just thinks I am weird, not normal, all that stuff. Not a fun environment.
Mm-hmm.
While you're trying to enjoy what you're doing for a living. Because that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be stressing yourself out over something that you're doing and just make your life more and more miserable for money.
Nope, you gotta find a way to be happy.
A lot of stuff is run by money in this time and age, and can't really do anything about that. Besides, other than pursuing something that you enjoy, that could make you a living, not follow through with a bunch of don't follow the path of oh, you're going to school, you're good at this and this class, then people say, hey, you should try this, you go with that, and eventually you run yourself into a freaking just dead end because you end up in a job you don't like. You have spent a lot of years doing learning all the stuff that to get there, thinking that, oh hey, I kind of like doing these things that I've done in school and maybe at home and at some other friend's place or your grandpa's, and then you just go into that job, you become an apprentice, you eventually finish learning doing that whole stuff, and then you realize, I kind of don't like it.
Yep.
Because, especially how it was for me, after it was done, or during my apprenticeship and all, stuff has changed to the point where it used to be a very physical job. I'm a cutting machine operator. I make the steel go around, and yeah, it turned from just mostly manual labor and feeling like that you've made this, to you have some book-learned dummy sitting in an office that has no idea how your machine actually works, write you a bunch of programs, and you have to just fiddle your way through and make sure that the machine doesn't axe itself. Or you. Or both.
Yeah. Well,
it's become from lugging steel around to watching a machine do it for you and push a button start.
Well, here's what I will say. This is my opinion. I was gonna make a whole YouTube short on this, just to be just say, if you're miserable doing a job, if you don't like your job, if you feel like you're being treated either unfairly or you're not if you feel like you are not appreciated, you can always find something else. It's never too late for a career change. And yes, if you put time and effort into something and money, it will suck because it feels like you're losing that. But if you're not happy, don't stay. It's not good for your mental health. Find something different.
I should have quit. I should have quit in general and just went to electronics, computer stuff instead.
Yeah.
Because that's the majority of things that are just going on now these days, instead of a lot of handiwork and stuff. I mean, that's still around because it has to be for some things, but a lot is replaced by machinery to the point where it's just not fun anymore. It's not engaging. At least for me, it felt like just not what I wanted. It wasn't fun. The boss was also kind of a...
Have you got a job since then, or no?
Me. The next year, 2021, I went through, since I don't know if it just was just because of Corona, or that just because it also became just the majority of what companies would do, job agencies. Use job agencies.
Oh god, yeah, I've run into those.
And
they're outsourcing
I went through
to third parties.
I went through like 10-ish, somewhere around 10-ish jobs, and like 4 to 5 different job agencies. Never has anyone ever told me why I was released.
Which is not legally okay. At least I know in the U.S.
It's kind of the worst offender of that happening was, I was working for this company that made prosthetics, like arm, limb stuff, and I was putting together the joints and stuff like that. I was doing all right. Sometimes it got a little difficult because I am not the most physically capable anymore, since my body, after losing my job again and then doing nothing for a whole year because of Corona, it just collapsed on itself.
Really?
Like, it tried to pull itself back in shape, because I used to just literally just throw steel around.
And then you didn't do that.
What was like a heavy load on my body, and since all that pressure and stress was released and didn't continue to just weigh on me, my body just like tried to find its shape again, and spine's crooked, like shoulder won't stop popping, my hips also kind of.
Aren't you fairly young though?
I'm getting close to 30.
That's still, I feel like that's really bad for being in your 20s to have all these issues already piling up on you.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
That also probably means that your job wasn't also the best in terms of safety. For, if anything, you probably should have had more help lugging that
safety?
steel around.
Hell no. Hell no.
Oh my god.
Next over the next holiday, let some what do you call those kids that occasionally just come in to just check out your place, check out the job, maybe fiddle around with some stuff to test out and the waters, if they would like doing that. What do you call those? They're not apprentices. Apprentices are already in the company.
Job fair, I guess. I don't know.
Well, for some reason they decided to put them on a lathe. On a manual open lathe, and let them like just like, cut down some steel. And that kid,
interns. That's really what.
Intern. Okay, yeah.
Man, we'll just go with that. We'll go with that.
You're going intern. The intern thought it would be cool to see how long he could make the strand of steel coming off of the piece. What he didn't think of is that this was a very long, very sharp string. And it balled up, it fell off the machine, and wrapped around his ankle.
Oh god. I'm assuming that did not result in
it was not a safe environment. Like,
yeah,
at all.
That sounds
especially when you machine tool steel. It was literally just like a constant stream of shotgun pellets.
Jesus, that sounds. Oh, and again, this just makes me think that's probably why your body's all messed up, is because of working a job like that. It's like
but one of the reasons why my body is messed up, because a lot of the times, because I was put under stress, I overworked myself a lot, and I tried to lift or push around things that were probably
way too
much
for
me.
you. Yeah,
way too much.
Needed help.
Especially when it came to, since a lot of the things were not automated yet, I had to manually shovel out all the shavings and stuff, and then carry the heavy basket over to the big container to throw it all in. And because I kept being yelled at for taking so long, I shoveled in more and more and more and more and more until it got very difficult for me to handle that thing.
Dude, and the thing is, it's not even. At that point, I don't even think it's your fault. It's your employer's fault for not noticing that the workload they're putting on you is too much. It's like, I feel like a lot of jobs do that.
And then they have the audacity to tell me that I'm slow, get in another worker who's also at the same machine that I was, and ask them how long they took. I was 10 minutes faster.
Wow.
My
what did they say to that?
My boss was like, I just had a moment of silence trying to think about what to say. And then I just like, okay. If anyone ever tells you that he's working too slow, please send them to me.
That the boss said that to you?
No, to the other guy. If anyone ever complained that I was too slow, they were supposed to get into the office.
If they complained to you
about
you being too slow, right?
If they ever complained, like in general, to anyone that I was too slow, because no one would come to me and tell me that I'm too slow.
Because you're too fast. You're 10 minutes faster than everyone else. But still, the thing is, I'm noticing this at every job I've worked at. Every job, it seems like they just pile, at least for the most part, you get into a flow, and then the job is like, okay, get faster, but do the same amount of work, but get faster. It's like, it doesn't matter how fast we get.
Meanwhile, the gaming industry...
Dude, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter how fast your worker is. Let them do their job and go home on time. It's like, if you need people to be faster, just hire more people, but it shouldn't be. It's like, it should never be it shouldn't be consistent, like you need to get faster at your job. It's like, at some point, you're gonna cap out, or you need to assume your worker is working at a pace that's reasonable. Stop increasing the pace. Just sit back and let people work. Don't increase the workload.
Another
that's why you
great
don't listen
example
and keep going at your own speed. Yeah, exactly. But then
great example.
Then you get fired and not get told why. Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Because like, it's literally, if you just don't listen, keep going at your own speed. At some point, your boss is gonna go, you're not listening to me, or you're not doing what I want you to. So we don't need you. We'll get somebody who works faster. And you just, it's. I feel like
another example of that is, the pieces that we were producing, pump rotors to go into like. Oil plants, or your car, or the machines that pump the yogurt into their cups. And one of the stages was grinding all the marks from cutting them on the lathe, just out of the pieces, to if they needed to be a lot smoother than they were for applications that required that. And some people were very not good at grinding, or knowing when to use what type of grid, or we had this like hand tool if there was any like deeper cuts, or the piece moved in the machine and it got a bit off center or something. And people, instead of smoothing out the surface, just carved in more just absolute cliff faces into those things. And I'm like, put it down, go away, and I'll do it myself. because they were like, oh, this needs to get out, this needs to be done quick. So they pick up the heaviest grid and they just go, oh, I went too deep. Now what? Well, now we have to send this thing for 2 days straight instead of getting it to send out in an hour.
Dude, job environments are just getting more and more. It's like, I just feel like people don't know how to be employers. It's like, I get you have supply and demand and you want to put more things out. You have to understand you either need to limit your workers or offer more payment. Be like, if you work harder, I will give you a raise, and make it a fairly good raise. And, also, if you're going to increase the workload and demand, hire more people. Don't just make that one person's job, because at some point, they're putting their safety at risk, or even worse, in my opinion, their mental health. The more stress you put on someone, the less likely they are to stick around, and the more likely they are to make mistakes.
Break everything you say to me, just one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break.
I do get so upset by employers. I do.
You know what the worst, well, of course the worst thing was that I got fired, but all my old coworkers were confused as to why I was let go, instead of those two people that continuously ruin pieces or were just caught smoking behind the building or even behind the machine where there was coolant that could potentially set on fire.
Yep. I don't get it. I don't want to get in that. It's like they let people stay who... I don't get it. I don't get why they let some people go and they keep some people around.
Like, they only had complaints for those people, and then they let go of me because?
And you never found out why, which is so dumb. It's so dumb.
Like, about a month or so after, one of my old coworkers sent me a picture of my baby, my machine, that I've cared for so much, repaired so many times, and repeatedly cleaned more than any other machine that was in the facility. And they have this like aluminium plate that's supposed to move with the top sled, so
Yep.
no shavings would get into the whole mechanic stuff and gunk it all up and scrape and ruin the machine. The people that they let work on that machine never properly cleaned while they were working, so all those tiny bits of steel got caught up underneath and completely folded that thing over to where it was utterly useless. So a bunch of that stuff gone to the machine, no one ever cared to look what they were doing, and the whole thing seized up.
Dude, you know, it reminds me...
I was furious.
And it's funny that they get rid of you. Like, I can kind of relate. I have two stories. One is, there was this one guy, I've told this before during interviews, so I'll just give you the TLDR. I had a coworker, kept making mistakes, doing everything wrong. I'd have to rewash his dishes because the fact he'd leave bits of grime, food, like sauce on the dishes even after he put them through washing, rinsing, and sanitization. They'd still look like completely dirty, and they'd have chicken or sauce. Another issue this guy did is he would roll up people's cheeses so it would melt together, and they would come and complain, and that kept happening for like months. And I was on a closing shift. I had to work with the guy. I kept annoying the crap out of me because I'd have to fix all his mistakes. And so I got to a point where I couldn't handle anymore, so I has to be swapped off second shift. And so I got put on first shift, and they replaced me. Only to have to get rid of the guy because not only were they still getting 1,000 complaints about the guy, but now they also had my female coworker who had to go replace the guy that gets fired because she had a mental breakdown because of working with the guy, and so they're like, yeah, we gotta get rid of him. So they finally get rid of him and put me back on the shift, and closing shift now is working so much better again because they have me on the shift again. At least when we had two people, freaking. Then eventually they only had one person closing again, which those are never fun. But also. Another story. So I was working at a place where they were trying to rush out work and all that, but also the thing that more annoyed me was the fact that the other people did not clean their respirators, so they would be coated in dirt and dust, and this is chemical paint that is cancer causing. I had the cleanest respirator out of everyone, and my boss would get a bit upset because I would take the longest to clean my respirator. I would take that time during my shift, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm cleaning my respirator. And I mean, I would clean everything, every part of the filter, the inside, outside, the part of the little flap at the front that's supposed to be like where you blow out and it opens up to blow the air out. I would clean that too with alcohol wipes, the whole thing, because I didn't want to get cancer.
Next.
Yep, employers need to train their employees better and respect them more. At least they won't keep losing people. Yeah, agreed, Wolf. What were you gonna say?
That reminds me of, sometimes those like tiny metal shavings would get pretty much fucking just everywhere because they would ding off the inside of the machine, and since it wasn't a fully enclosed space, just fire out in any which direction.
Like shrapnel.
Which also included the desk. And it was a lot of times, 20, 40, 50, whatever, that people just wouldn't properly clean the desk. And there were tiny, but very, very sharp pieces of metal just everywhere. And it would happen that I reached for something that I needed, a tool, cutting discs, just a box, or my coffee mug. And I would accidentally just move my hand over one of those pieces and just back to the hospital.
Again, workplace practices. That's an OSHA violation right there.
Like, you're supposed to have half an hour of time to clean your stuff. Some people were still trying to finish their work, but then didn't add that time to clean up their machine just so they can go get home. So they would leave it to the next person that came in to the next shift, which was me.
Don't you love working under somebody? Like, don't you just like? Okay, let me rephrase it. Don't you love working under people or working with people that just don't appreciate what they do or who they have working with them?
Like there's people that just care about making money, don't really care much about the job as long as they get free coffee, can smoke, and have food, and have a break. That's about it. Me, I still want to be a lot more passionate with what I'm doing and feel like for myself that I am accomplishing something. Because a lot of the time I just feel like I'm very stagnant. I am stuck. I'm not really going anywhere because I am about to turn 28 and I'm still living with my parents. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm turning, almost 24 this year, and I'm still living with my parents. But I think that's going to become a regular thing. The housing market's too expensive, at least in my country right now.
As well. And like every time I would actually get close to moving out or even crossing the ocean, something would happen that would completely screw me over for it. Months or even years. Because I would have to recover from it. I would have to regain that money and find another opportunity at that time to do it.
No, it's rough.
Yeah.
I heard this one touching story about a guy, I think in France, I want to say, where basically he was just a bum living on the street, but the guy that was recording it, like, he just would go for jogs, record video, but his dog randomly one day decided to go run up to this homeless guy and became basically immediately best friends with the homeless guy, and so they would visit him every day. And at some point, the videos that he was making, because he would upload those videos like TikTok or something, the government took notice of him and realized the reason he was homeless is because they didn't have his name in the records because he was an immigrant. And so they the government stepped in and helped, and they raised enough money. They raised him like $5,000 and were like, hey, dude, go find yourself a place to stay for a while. Or it might have been more than 5,000. I just know it was a decent amount of money. They raised a decent amount of money for him and we're like, hey, dude, the government's going to help you get, your ID and all that. They're going to help you get it. And, here's some money to help you kind of get your back on your feet. And it's just like, if only more of that would happen in the world, I feel like, for people who...
Yeah, but there's also a lot of people.
There's a lot of people. Not wrong. I'm not saying
there's
everyone.
Also a lot of people.
I guess I don't even know if that was really the point. That was just a touching story I saw about money that it reminded me of. What I really want, I guess, because my mind, how it works is, if I become a big... I know I'm going to be taken advantage of if I become big. I already know.
You're looking for that same thing to happen to you like it did to Hot Ones. It's like,
what?
Eating some chicken, asking some questions. Oh, have you never seen Hot Ones?
I've seen it a little bit, but I don't know. It's like what?
It's also like just a different kind of interview format thing.
Yeah.
Well, they just munch on chicken that gets hotter and hotter, and they ask questions and stuff. It's a fun, engaging thing. For some people, it's very painful, which also reminds me of a thing I did while I was in California. And I completely misjudged my body's capability of withstanding spicy stuff.
What was it? The Carolina Reaper?
I tried to eat 5 2 million Scoville pieces of chicken tenders.
Why?
I was hungry. They told me I could get a cool shirt. And then they kept repeating, oh, a girl did it. And I'm usually very good with hot, spicy stuff. Since we used to have this, like tiny pepper plant that I would constantly just munch on every time I got back home. And everyone else that tried one just freaking died. They just like started hyperventilating, and they turned into a freaking tomato.
You want to try that now, chat? I don't know if that's a good idea.
Houston's hot chicken. You literally have to sign a waiver that includes personal property damage, mental issues, and death.
Yikes. Yeah.
And I'm just like literally the last word was death, and I'm like, sign me up.
I think I've already agreed to this. I don't know if this is what I said I would do, but if I get, I'm gonna say, I guess I could say this now. If we get monetized on YouTube, I'm thinking about it. I might do the one chip challenge.
Oh, the pop something puck something. The people that make the chip.
Oh, I have no idea. That's no. If I get monetized, if chat helps me get monetized, if you guys keep tuning into the streams.
What do you mean by get monetized?
Well, all I need right now to get monetized on YouTube, it just means I can start making money off YouTube, basically. I'm like a quarter of the way there because I just need 4,000 watch time hours. And I almost have 1,000 right now. So I literally, all I need is people to watch my videos and my streams. That's it. That's literally all that I need for people to do is just keep, like, absorbing my content into their brains.
Brains.
Beans.
Beans. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Hello, I make mouth noises. I kind of used to be a voice actor, but it's kind of been a long time. I'm just weird.
I've been thinking about making weird skit videos at some point once I have the means.
I kind of did some of that stuff back when Vine was still around.
I think people said
I recorded stuff, but then I was too anxious to post anything. So I made a bunch of stuff. I tried a bunch of things, but none of that ever saw the light of day.
Yeah?
Because I was terrified, since I was that kid at school. And, oh boy. Yeah, the whole, back when the whole brony thing happened, I built up a lot of confidence, since I never had anything, like I had some things in common, some likes, but I never felt like I fit in with any of those people that I went to school with, that were around at that time, that I kind of got pushed to be friends with by my parents and stuff. And I don't know, joining that community helped me out a lot. I met a lot of cool people.
Well, I feel the same about VR chat, because for me, I kind of had a very similar thing. I did not.
It's another community of somewhat like-minded people, a lot broader. Since it's not around a specific thing, there's just a bunch of people from communities that are around a certain thing that are just all piled up on here.
Well, I mean, like for me, I was very. I mean, another big reason why I got VR chat is because I finally hit my breaking point in terms of loneliness, because I pretty much pushed everyone away in high school because I got bullied. In elementary school, people liked me, but there were some people who avoided me because they thought I was weird. Middle school, I was bullied like crazy. High school, I want to be alone. I didn't care anymore. I was like,
I have no idea what that is. Huh? Oh, okay, sorry.
the one in the chat, or the one who
Yeah,
asked
Callum's
Corner Benson. I have no idea what that is either. Never heard it.
Keep in mind, I am German. I have I'm completely oblivious of a lot of things that are American.
Yeah.
We got a couple things. We got a couple shows, but not a lot. And I stopped trying to keep up with the happenings of the internet because there's just too much.
Why do you have such a like almost American accent?
Because I started learning English at the age of 10. Guess how?
Internet?
Disney movie subtitles.
Really?
Yes, me and my sister found it funny when we watched Mufasa die in Spanish.
What?
Yep.
Okay then.
And
interesting.
when I heard that those funny languages are eventually going to become a part of school, I was like, sure, okay, we'll watch it. And from subtitles and listening to people and the very poor English class that we had, where I was perfectly fine speaking English, my accent was still there, and I sound like someone just rubbing two just pieces of rubber together. What was I? But yeah, I was able to speak English a lot sooner than I was able to read and write it.
Oh yeah.
Which is, I think, a common thing actually. Because
a lot of people, yeah.
Because you can, like, how are blind people learning languages? Like,
probably listening
or stuff like that. Yeah, like a lot of listening, a lot of getting to associate things with
words,
other things, other words or languages that you do know. And I don't. It just happened.
Well, yeah. I mean, I watch anime, and there's certain words I can hear them speak, and I'll read the subtitle.
It's actually happening again with anime as I'm watching it in Japanese with English subtitles. Yeah. I'm starting to do the thing again, but it's a lot more difficult for me because English,
Japanese is hard.
Stole a bunch of the European, a lot of German terminology and words and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How things are structured.
Well, I mean, like
some words and meanings are kind of flipped. Like there's one English German word that you can say, no matter what the accent or anything, because it's the exact same pronunciation both ways. But it has a very different meaning.
In English.
In German, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's gift.
Oh, really?
Yes. Gift and gift are the same pronunciation, written the same way, but the English one means prison. Like stuff like that. And the other one means poison.
Oh. Very different meanings. Oh my.
So if I gift you gift, don't drink it.
But like what I was saying, I basically am doing the same with anime because of the fact. I mean, like I will be watching anime, and then I will hear like after years of watching anime, if I see a subtitle but I hear a word that I recognize, I'm like, the subtitle's wrong. At least I've heard this word used in many different, like it has a much more specific context or said something completely different. It's like you'll hear someone say like something, and then and the subtitle will say something dumb, and it's actually like, dude, it just what they just said. That like sometimes it'll be like hi, which just means yes, but the subtitle will be like, oh, it'll be like a whole sentence for that one word in Japanese. I'm like, it just means yes.
Me. That is me when every time I hear someone speak German. I don't want to speak German. I don't like this. the life I'm living and everything connected to it so far that is just around me and not the happy fun time I can have with other people.
Yeah.
But I have this urge to constantly correct people when they're saying random stuff in German. Or when they come up to me knowing that I'm German and then try to say something to me that is like offensive or lewd or just stupid. And I'm like,
not how you say it, kid.
See, actually, you would say this, but in this context, you would also say.
Bro, I do that to my editors. I do that to my
editors.
editors. I feel so bad whenever I hire someone, especially if they're not English isn't their first language, and my editors are trying to do subtitles. I can't help it. I need to sit down with them and watch through the whole video. And be like, listen, this word, like especially because I like punctuation in my subtitles. So it's like I like periods, I like exclamation marks, I like quotation marks, and my editors are like, and not only are they dealing with that, but they also are trying to feel like, okay, so this person just said two, but they spelled it with the T-O, but it's actually supposed to be the T-O-O. Or they'll use a word that's right, believe, but they forgot the I-E, and they only put an I. I'm so bad about that. I feel bad for my editors, but it's like I need to correct them. It's my mind is like, I am a spelling nerd. I need my grammar correct. Although sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I do make mistakes, though.
It is time for Hard Truth.
I might temporarily, because I was trying to hold it in, but I'm gonna have you temporarily talk to chat because I need to go use the restroom. So I'll be back.
Oh, please, chat.
I'll be right back.
Give me all your questions. Unload your thoughts on me. Ah, God. Anything you'd like to know? Hydrate or dihydrate? How am I entertaining? Said the guy who's trying to be entertaining. Ha. Opinions on trees. They're pretty good. I like wood. I like working with wood. But I also like forests. I do a lot of like world building ish type stuff, or like quote unquote miniature shenanigans, and I like trees. Trees are cool. You can freshen up your things with trees. But also they are kind of responsible for making you breathable air. And I like breathing. I don't like suffocation.
We need to stop cutting down the Amazon rainforest.
Yes,
this is a lot of the oxygen for the world in general.
Yes, if you pluck out the lungs, you're not gonna make it long.
No, exactly.
And the worst thing is that they're doing that for more livestock.
Yeah.
Livestock, especially cows, produce
a
so
lot of CO2.
So much more CO2. And they're cutting down the things that get rid of all that CO2.
Mm-hmm. It's dumb. It's dumb. If there's one thing, like, I know Elon Musk has made a lot of mistakes, but if there's one thing he truly does cry over and believe in, he is, taking care of the environment. I've seen his interviews about how people need to take better care of trees and all that, and it's just like, that I can stand with behind that man, because that video I saw on him talk about that, oh my god, is he right? Because he understands carbon emissions are a threat to our livelihoods. That is, yeah. So the corals, the sea needs to be fixed. True. The oceans do need to also produce, because the oceans can also produce oxygen with the plants that live in there, and we don't take good care of the plants in the oceans either. Why do we're dumping our garbage all in the ocean? That's not healthy for the ocean either.
Or create an absolute hellhole bursting out from below.
God, that is concerning. I already know about the eye cup thing. That is middle school humor. Okay, do me a favor. Spell eye cup for me, Doodle.
Eye cup?
Yeah, eye cup. Spell it for me. You realized. You realized. Oh boy, I love that. I see, and then I heard just the U, and then you just like very quietly the U, and then you just stopped. You're like, wait, I get it now. Oh my god. Just fix everything. Plant trees in the ocean.
No! Why didn't I do that? I'm stupid. I could have gone IKUP.
Oh my god. By the way, I just gotta say, Wolf, you say, how about just fix everything? Plant trees and clean up the ocean? That's literally what Mr. Beast did the past 2 years. That's
what a lot of people are doing.
Team trees and team seas. I know a lot of people, but you know, he got a lot of the big movements started for it.
He has a lot of money.
He does. I respect the man a lot, dude. I respect Mr. Beast so much. The man makes good content. But you know what? Here's the thing. People, somebody argued with me on this on Twitter. I'm sorry. Mr. Beast should not visit Mount Everest. It is one of the most dangerous locations he could ever visit. And I will say this. Yes, they went to Antarctica. But do people realize that you have to spend months acclimating to Mount Everest environment? And also, going up the mountain takes like I think it takes like 90 days or something immense, like 6 weeks, or it's crazy. It takes a long time to get up Mount Everest, and then you have to think also, back down.
The worst thing that killed the most people is not even the cold; it's that they're suffocating.
Exactly, because there's no air up there, dude.
There's barely any air, and they're exerting themselves, pass out, and then they turn into a popsicle.
I was listening to a podcast recently, and they briefly talked about Mount Everest. Apparently, there's a guy that went up there that recently too, and he's decided that he's not going up there with oxygen gear. He doesn't want to.
He wants to make it up there and back down
without oxygen.
I mean, there's something the diver people that just go down ridiculous depths without anything, and if they fuck up, they're just gonna.
Yeah, no, it's I find
they're gonna drink the big soup.
The big soup. What?
The big soup.
Let the man climb it and plant a tree,
ocean,
dude.
A
tree wouldn't live on top of Everest. A tree would not live up there, dude. Why do you think you don't see trees on the tops of mountains? You see them around mountains, but not near the very tip top. Things die up there, because all it is snow and rock. Oh my god, because animals can't get up there and die and turn into dirt. And insects can't turn to dirt, and animals can't turn to dirt. Animals, plants, everything. Everything
just freezes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, why do they can't get the bodies down from Everest because they're frozen. They're like stuck in the snow, or they're frozen to the rock. It's like they can't get people out. It's like they literally have to leave some people up there, or just bury them in snow to make it less morbid. It's like it's sad. I don't know. Oh my god!
It's still an accomplishment that people want to get to, so you can't stop them. If you can't stop them, join them.
Oh my god! I just
Don't do it.
There's a lot of things with the world going wrong, but you know that's why you gotta try to put some good in the world. What was that? Why did I hear a dolphin? Oh, okay. Dude, wasn't there a song that has like that in it? That, like just like the creaking. It sounds like a creaking of like a. Oh wait, hold on. Never mind. I thought of the song, but I don't want to say. Does Doodle have a rabbit hole where he lives? I have no idea. Probably not a rabbit.
Bro.
Mutation.
Just because my Sona is a quarter rabbit doesn't mean I have a freaking burrow.
I know. Oh my god. Actually, I don't know. It's not the man clan plants tree. Yeah, all that stuff. Oh my god. I don't know. It's just there's a lot going on in the world that's going wrong, and I hope that they fix.
Yes.
I don't know. And I will.
Back to the interview.
Yeah, back to the interview. Yeah.
Let's skip this. Looks like derailing.
Well, that happens. Again, that's why I feel like it's not so much an interview as much as the talk show. Goes off on tangents sometimes, and conversations and opinions, not just your backstory. I mean, you know.
Right.
I am
Again,
curious.
Quick recap. That kid in school, bronies, Vert chat. Oh no, wait, hold on. That kid in school, bronies, Second Life, VR chat. Now.
Just now. I wonder what comes next. I wonder, is the internet just gonna get shut off by the government and just realize the internet's not such a good
Coronal mass ejection.
Oh no.
The planet's just gonna get EMP'd and everyone's shit's gonna break.
Oh boy. It'd be interesting. Hey Christian, how you doing?
Interesting? Please no.
Yeah, please no. Let's not have an EMP. Especially, like, people were saying a solar flare was gonna cause
coronal mass ejection. It's when the sun poops out a bunch of waves and shit, and it
and EMP is the world.
Just swooms by the.
Can we not just fix all the technology that gets hurt by the wave?
You know what? It absolutely fries the crap out of everything.
Huh.
It overloads electrical devices.
Well, I know that, but couldn't we just make more?
Your data's gone.
True.
All you have to communicate is gone.
True. All that. Yeah, the world.
Every unprotected facility will have major damage.
Yep. It's gonna be rough. You know, that's why I'm kind of glad I'm probably not gonna live to see the world burn, because you know,
you know that we're already late on having one, right?
Yeah, I know. We're late on having one. We're also late on having a massive earthquake on the west coast of the U.S. Like, people are saying it's supposed to be like a 10.0. It's supposed to be so big, because it's supposed to span all across the west coast. And like,
didn't one happen like a little further up?
I don't know. Not a massive one. All I know is they say that if what is that one super volcano that is in the U.S. that's in a national park? What is it called?
Yellowstone?
Yeah, if Yellowstone goes off, they're saying the world would end.
It wouldn't end. It would look a lot different afterwards.
Yeah, Yellowstone is something that put us back into it would make us like Fallout age, but with volcano instead of nukes. Just ash everywhere, because it's supposed to be like one of the biggest volcanoes in the world. It's supposed to be like the biggest super volcano.
And it's like a chain thing, yada yada yada. What I'm also a bit worried about is the whole climate change thing and the possibility that we could have another ice age.
Although it may be one of my favorite movies, but it's very much not based off fact. The whole The Day After Tomorrow. Have you ever seen that movie? It's literally about that. It's about basically this giant hurricane starts coming through, but it's like a blizzard hurricane. So it's like anything it touches, it freezes. Anything it touches, it freezes. Basically, it's like climate change has caused this giant hurricane to start freezing everything it touches. And basically, actually, I think it's like 3 hurricanes. It's insane. It's basically like, you know, the world is coming to an end, but it's all because of an ice age, and anything above the equator freezes. Anything below the equator is fine, but everything above the equator now has entered an ice age. And wait, Indonesia has the biggest volcano? Really? Not know that.
Well, it is the biggest volcano over in the U.S.
True.
Something.
I know that, but they do say if Yellowstone goes off, like there's whole videos on. I've seen a lot of them where it's like just the mass destruction that would cause, both from the eruption, also for the after effects, like the ash and stuff, blocking out signals and causing like droughts or causing mass.
We're doing it again.
We are going off.
We're doing it again. We're going back to.
It basically becomes a talk show. You have to understand. That's basically what this becomes.
Yeah, but why can't we like veer off into something funny? No, we're talking about the end of the world.
Yeah, we keep veering off to depressing stuff. You are right. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Okay, you know, I have an interesting question. What has to be the funniest moment you had with McCrackle? For me, it was getting held hostage at Chuck E. Cheese's. I thought that was very memorable.
Oh, by God.
Ooh, a hard question.
That's a very hard one because I spend a lot of time without me.
Best memory to come up with in VR chat. Or outside of VR chat, even. Why not both?
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, I have one that is very incriminating.
What do you mean by incriminating?
So, it was me meeting him for the for the very first time in person at TwitchCon 2018. Our friend Angsty just picked me up from the airport. We went back to the house, and of course, the person to open the door, yours truly, McCrackle, and he's absolutely drunk. He just like looks at me. I was like, huh? Who's this? Oh, Doodle, come in.
That's the first time you met him. He's just blackout drunk. Maybe he's not blackout drunk at that point, but he's drunk.
He wasn't blackout drunk. He was just drunk.
Just drunk.
that was me meeting McCrackle in person.
That's awesome.
Let's see, VR chat stuff.
That's gonna be me meeting Quizzy, because Quizzy is so fed up with all the crap I'm putting him through that he's gonna probably be drunk when we meet, and then I'm just gonna have a drunk Quizzy on my hands. That's gonna be funny. But yeah, let's hear it. McCrackle in VR chat. What is
McCrackle VR chat?
Most memorable moment?
I forgot where exactly. I remember it was a clip where he was like literally just talking about me. He ran into like a little tree house thing, and he mentions me, and within the same second, I enter the room. I just pop in, and it's like, oh, I heard you were doing a challenge. And then in his video, he just swipes, the new challenger appeared, Doodle.
Oh wow! Oh,
it was like the funny moment in this video.
Oh my god!
And like every time I was doing a challenge and he saw me, he just like panicked. He's like, oh no, what he's gonna do now? There's some other funny stuff that happened though. I need to think about it first though, because my memory has gotten very bad, especially over the last 3 years.
I feel like
pretty bad a lot of things I can only remember because I constantly hammer the menu button and trigger to take Steam screenshots.
Oh, you've been
like every time something's happening or something going on, I'm just like dip. Last time I checked, I was at 73,000.
Oh wow! Oh,
and
boy.
like literally, like going to my Steam, going to VR chat, then clicking on like show your screenshot thing is, it will crash Steam.
Really?
I have to manually go through Windows to get to the folder, which also takes like ages to load.
Oh boy. Oh boy. This is why I think you're gonna need to get yourself an SSD just for photos.
I only have SSDs.
Oh, that's horrible. If it's taking that long to load on an
it's
SSD...
making my SSD crumble.
That's not good. I hope it's not your main SSD.
No, my main system is on an M.2.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And then everything else is on an SSD because...
Yeah.
But at this point, normal SSDs and M.2s are like the same price.
They are, yeah, which is pretty nice.
And I'm like, do I have another slot? Yo!
I know, I have 2 M.2s on my PC. I have 3 hard drives now because I put my 2 old ones in and bought a new one. And I still have 2 slots on the back that I could use if I want to. And I'm getting for SSD specifically, so I might be buying 2 SSDs for either long-term storage or game storage. But yeah, I think 4 terabytes is enough storage for games. Just delete a couple whenever I'm not.
If you want something to do games or run programs off of, SSD good. If you want something that is just static data, like pictures or also videos,
hard drives.
Hard drives.
That's what I'm using my hard drives
for. A thick, meaty, like, I don't know, Seagate, fire, whatever the hell it's called.
I have a 16 terabyte.
Just I
have a big 16 terabyte specifically for videos.
Eat up my memories, and then it sets on fire, and you're like, Who can say where the road goes?
I know. It would suck at watching that all burn and all your memories.
Yeah, I have all my pictures never like saved on like 3 different hard drives because I'm scared. I'm scared to lose just
any of them.
Yeah.
You know, that's fair. It's why
It's all the same stuff, just copy on the 3 different hard drives.
I'll probably end up getting a RAID set up just to store video footage long term.
Yeah.
Or because I don't know, I don't like deleting stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of a digital hoarder. My family is more of a physical hoarder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything I see I like, I want to remember.
Yeah. Just store it away. Anything you like to remember. Yep. I mean, flash drives are good for that. I wonder if is a flash drive. A flash drive's nowhere near as good as an M.2, right? Because I've seen people that now make USB to M.2s. Like you could put an M.2 in a USB 3.0 like case.
It doesn't have the same. I don't know if I really understand it, but
it wouldn't work.
It would be. It's like squeezing a lot more stuff through a funnel.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big opening, but you're trying to squeeze it through a tiny hole.
So I wonder if in that case would it just be better just to buy a big USB drive instead of buying like the M.2 case?
Just buy an external hard drive thing that you can just.
That's right.
Help someone else, stick it in, and then
they make big external hard drives as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, but you know what? I think that I'm going to call the interview here because we've been going on for 2 hours now.
We've been going on over a lot of random stuff.
We have, but I mean, I managed to ask about what I wanted to ask was like your history and all that, and how you came to be Doodle. You know, and I got some pretty cool.
That's also a lot of depressing shit as well, especially with my design.
Really? Why is that?
Because I'm mostly very like 50-50. A lot of it, it's all the non-fun stuff, but then there's also the bright side to things.
Yeah.
And also my face is a skull.
Yeah, a skull. Yeah, almost makes me think of Call of Duty Ghosts for some reason. The topic is so random, and I love it. Well, yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Again, it's why I need to stop calling these interviews. I mean, it's a talk show. I sit down, I invite somebody. It's kind of an interview.
I mean, they keep veering off in the talk shows.
Well, I feel like it's both. It's like we veer off, but also we eventually go back and talk about you some more. Like, I mean, your stories about your workplace were very interesting.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff I can talk about that.
You know what? We can always pull you on my podcast. I'll be starting. We're releasing our first episode today.
Oh boy!
I don't know what time. In fact, let me quickly double check if I've been DM'd on Discord about them finishing it. Let me see. If not, let me quickly hit him up and go. I'm
gonna quickly go through a couple of things still. Just like thinking about it.
Goes the how goes the podcast thumbnail? There we go. Just want to make sure I ask that. But yeah, because I'm gonna be releasing that. But yeah, we might pull you on for that because I think that could be fun. I think you'd be a fun guest to chat with. Whether that's more stories.
I would hecking love to.
Yeah.
Maybe even more of the guest.
Well, hey, the thing is, you know, we don't know. We might have reoccurring guests. I know Trash Chase does all the time. Mm-hmm. Hello there, Marlon Umikage. But yeah, I mean, if you do have more we want to talk about, I can go on for a little bit longer. I mean, my longest interview went on for 4 hours. So let's see. What else can I ask you? I mean, you said you were going to therapy, so you know, well, tell me about that.
I was trying to, and so far it has not miserably, but somewhat failed because I was doing some physical therapy, rehabilitation, stuff like that. But thanks to Corona and not many people showing up and things being canceled, it was like very choppy. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like consistent to where it would like properly take effect. So I don't know if things got better or worse, but first it was my left shoulder hurting and constantly popping and pinching my nerves. Now it's both.
So when you say therapy, you mean physical therapy, not mental therapy.
Both.
Okay, both. Okay.
The mental therapy thing is the absolutely just the most trash one right now, because that is the one I wanted to do the most, because I am kind of not well. I just have that mask on.
Well, here's the thing. The fact you can admit that and you are looking for help means a lot, because I know some people who don't like their therapists, or that just don't want to talk to them.
I tried it before, and then I just completely stopped because it was just, it didn't feel, of course it didn't feel good, but it felt very dry, very is pragmatic the right word?
You gotta find the right therapist.
It was just very, very just, I don't know, not caring. More like, the next number has shown up.
Yeah, again, this is why you need to find the right therapist. You know, you gotta find.
Like, I was looking a little more for a person that would actually converse and talk with me, and I eventually found that person, who unfortunately did things kind of differently with what they signed themselves up as to be. So I had to get a certain letter from my doctor that allowed me to go do their program and stuff like that. But that was very heavily limited to the amount of times I could go per half a year.
Really?
Yes. They were psychiatrist type-ish person, but they were signed up as ergotherapist. Like, they did both.
Ergotherapist.
I don't know what you would call it in English. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it probably is what it's called in English, but I've never heard that term. Like, what was different from a normal therapist?
Well, they were doing both of those things, but they were mainly doing the other things. So you cannot sign yourself up for 2 different jobs at once. You have to pick one if you're in the medical field over here in Germany, apparently, and that's your thing. So if I want to go to that person that is signed up as this thing, this just job, and not the other job, I need to get that specific a special note to be able to participate in what they're doing.
So weird. I've never heard about something like this. That is insane.
It is so obnoxious, because I didn't know it at first, so I just tried to go back to my doctor, and then he told me, "Oh no, sorry, you have to wait 2-3 more months until you can continue." I'm like, I went to my normal doctor, sent me to my neurologist, to the neurologist, who then told me to go there, but didn't tell me that it's going to be so limited, even though I wanted to pursue it on a more day-to-day, not day-to-day basis, but like
well, you might just need to find another one then. Just find someone that isn't this ergotherapist, and find someone who does it what you want them to do.
Psychiatrist. And so far, to be honest, that has been the best person for me so far.
Really?
Like, they are also quirky. They talk a lot about things with me. They do a lot also, not just like sitting and talking and writing things down, more just like talking and then offering like little test things or methodical stuff to do. Is like, this is like, this piece of something is you that we put here, and then you take these and these things and put them corresponding to how you feel about certain things around it, and then they go off of those things, and they're weirdly accurate, and it confuses me.
Huh.
Help.
Somebody in my chat said ergotherapy involves the use of assessment and intervention to develop, recover, and maintain the meaningful activities or occupations of individuals, groups, or communities. which is a mouthful. I don't fully know what that means, and neither does the person who wrote that in chat, Marlon.
They just copied it.
Probably, yeah. Copied the description. Oh, man.
Well,
but yeah, no.
Physical therapy was constantly falling through because of things. The mental stuff kind of got locked
COVID
up
because of the physical therapy, right?
Huh?
It was mainly
because of COVID and it was more and it was sent to multiple things for the physical therapy stuff, to rehabilitation, which was more a lot of old people, and if the majority of them didn't come that day, it will fall through. And the other half of that was another more limited therapy type deal where I went into a studio and they like popped the joints, massages and stuff like that to like loosen up stuff again, because apparently all those muscles I had, especially all the little ones, were stiff AF.
Really?
Like the second they like push onto anything, it hurt pretty bad. It was no good. Like I was so just. I am weirdly flexible. Like I can shake my hands behind my back, like no problem. But my body still itself was mostly very stiff still because of the work I was doing. And since all those muscles weren't stretched from me lifting heavy weight, they all kind of just like just shrunk, and they just like that's probably why my shoulder is constantly popping, because everything is a bit too under tension, so every time I move it, it just tries to
if you did
pull itself in a certain direction. I've been trying to do that. If it wouldn't constantly fall through, I eventually signed up for the studio I was going to as well, out of my own pocket, to continue that more, since, well, before that as well, but especially now, since I only had 50 sessions for 130 or 80 days, which is, why don't you just give me a time where I can go do physical rehabilitation? Why does it have to be a limited amount of days in a very long time, to where, because of how things went, I am now either somewhere in between better and worse, and now have to wait till April so I can continue.
That's crazy. What the heck? That's crazy.
Like, I tried appealing to my health insurance, and they said, "No, sorry."
That's messed up.
If I want to dispute what they said, I have to go get a lawyer and do all of that stuff, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll wait.
Have you tried like doing any type of exercises on your own time, like at home?
I don't have that much. Like, what I did there, that's why I signed up for the studio, because
they
a
had
lot of the
more
things
tools that you need. Okay.
they had all the they have all the stuff that they use for the rehabilitation stuff. They do the physical rehabilitation. They do that.
Yeah, and so it's harder to do that at home. Gotcha.
Because they use a lot of like machines and different like balance boards and other stuff like that, weights and everything that I don't have.
Yeah.
And I cannot afford.
I don't blame you. Actually, I came up with another good question. Actually, I know it's completely on a different topic, but when it comes to McCrackle and that whole friend group, do you feel like most of you guys were all really close? Like the main group that McCrackle, I'd see like McCrackle hang around with you at Flare, Floracle, Angsty, Burning Sea.
Me, Mag, Burning Wubby. Me, Mag, Burning Wubby. Chlorocle those times as well. And God, I'm trying to remember. We used to occasionally hang out in his server, just either play games or just chat or just be there a little bit.
Yeah.
But like close. I was bouncing around a lot, and I was on VR chat. Like I in like the first year or so, like I piled up thousands of hours because I slept in VR. I didn't get off VR. I was just stuck in the virtual space.
Yeah. So
Again,
you had a whole bunch of friends. Do you think that having a whole bunch of friends actually makes it harder to hang out with the ones you're closer to?
Very much so. Especially for me, because I'm trying to keep up with a lot of people. That's why I made my server, so I can add everyone.
And yet, not a lot of people still look at it.
Or join the server. I invited like 600 people. And there's like not even 300 in my server.
Well, okay. I mean, yeah. No, that happens.
And yes, I consider a lot of those people friends. Certainly a lot of them are also a lot closer, that I hang out a lot more frequently.
Personal servers are really, really hard to maintain. Yeah, they can be. This do not exist.
I just invite people, and if someone comes to me like, hey, you haven't messaged me in so long, and then I see they're in my server, and I'm like, pew.
Well, I feel like another big thing that happens if you are like the center of a lot of people's, like if you're like a popular person, the thing is a lot of friends are trying to pull you into their friend groups a lot. Like
that also happens, and I'm like in this position where I don't want any more friends. I still can be cool, but don't.
Here's yeah, for me, I want a lot of friends, I do, but at the same time, I just want people to understand that I can't keep up with everyone 24/7, and there are going to people I turn to more often than most when it comes to certain games, and that's just because of like people who I'm closer to. Doesn't mean I don't like you, doesn't mean I don't think about you. It's like just that there's so many people I know, and I want to know more, which also makes that hard. I want to know new people. It's like I want to find more things I can do, and I might change things up. I might pull in some people I never hang out with. I might make that a more regular thing. Especially, here's the thing: if I ever became a full-time content creator, I just know I would be that kind of guy you'd see who's hanging out with people all the time. I'm popping in people's streams. I would be popping into people's Discord calls. I'd be hopping all over the internet because I would use that free time to hang out with people. I'd use my money to let my freaking parents finally retire. I'd be donating money to my friends who need it a lot, who either want to do things like, for instance, maybe they want to move to the US. Maybe they want to actually get a house. If I become successful,
streamer house.
I've thought about it. I've thought about it. I genuinely thought about it. It's just there's so many things that can go wrong with one. But I kind of want to try it sometime. I still think it'd be fun to try. And yes, I said your name because Exy. You seem like you're somebody who's really close to Doodle. Pretty good friend because I don't know. That's just the vibe I get. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yes, very. Says the robot Doodle. Just seems like somebody, you know, they're here to see the interview. You know?
Hold me closer, although you lean before the sun will rise. Might be bleeding, but don't you mind? I'll be fine.
That's like.
Oh yeah. I also.
What are you saying?
I keep like zoning out for like a moment. Constantly, losing trail of thought, and I apparently. Oh my god! One thing about what you just said with the ADHD thing, also with the trying to get help therapy stuff thing.
Yeah. I
was supposed to go to the hospital for evaluation last year in March.
For ADHD.
Fell through. No. Just to figure out in general what all is wrong with my head for schizophrenia, ADHD, personality issues, whatever, all that stuff, depression and yada yada. And first appointment already took 3 months to get there. Fell through because I got corona. The next one, again, in 3 months, I went there. They didn't know I was coming.
Oh my god.
So they just handed me a bunch of papers to fill out and have some result stuff, something. I never heard anything from that ever.
Oh my
and
god.
Then we'll make a new appointment after TwitchCon, which was another 4 months. In November, the 3rd, I go there, and they don't even test me for, like, they only test me for, like, the one thing, for the ADHD thing. And none of the other stuff. Like, I had to poke and prod for them to give me more papers to fill out.
Oh my god.
And the worst thing was, after I was done with the whole ADHD thing, he looks through the results, he explains it to me, and then the doctor is like, well, it kind of looks like this, but it's also kind of weird. Were you ever diagnosed with ADHD, stuff like that before? Yes? Then you might have it.
Might have it.
So...
Oh boy. That's... Wow. Okay.
What is that?
How does that help?
The doctor in the only hospital in the area that does that kind of stuff is telling me that he doesn't know or cannot tell me from the test results that I either have or not have something.
Oh boy. I mean, dude, that's just a mess. What a mess of a freaking medical field. Is this just... I don't want to make assumptions, but if this is German healthcare, that's crazy.
It is bad. And the only free thing about German healthcare is consultation.
That's it?
Your doctor telling you what you could do, should do, and then maybe write you something up.
Wow.
The majority of medicine, therapy, and other things, like I had to pay for ergotherapy, over $100 for 8-ish days. I had to pay like $50 for 6 days of physical therapy. The rehabilitation stuff was free, I think. But since that fell through, now I'm also paying $50 a month to keep going there.
Jesus.
Medicine. Also, you don't have to pay most of it, but you still have to pay for that stuff. And it also piles up. And then you're chugging pills, and then like, it doesn't do anything. Okay, the next box.
Jesus.
The next box.
Also, I just got a notification that an Amazon package just showed up, so I am gonna actually stream because it's a pretty big box.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's been a very in-depth interview, and if we want to talk more, we can always talk more off stream.
I like talking.
I know. But I also just recorded 2 hours of a podcast, so I've enjoyed this. I feel like if we need to talk more, we can talk more on the podcast. I might invite you to. I might have you be a guest. Fairly likely that'll happen.
Yay.
Yeah, and I'll definitely send.
We also need to do more of the gaming.
Yes, we do. I personally, I need to find a way to have energy after I get off work, and I also need to find a way to edit videos quicker, so that way I can get videos out quicker. But
just come to me to yell at you to do more shit.
Yeah, I need to do more shit, and I need to be able to have a higher work ethic.
Like I did, persuade people to calm their titties when we were doing the
recording, the video I'm trying to edit.
Recording for the yeah.
I'm still trying to get out.
That thing.
I'm staying up all night if I have to tonight. I'm going. Yeah.
That thing that happened
after I end the stream, I am editing that for as long as it takes. But that video, I need to get
don't overwork yourself either.
I know, I'll try not to, but I have a lot of work to do. But, it's been fun, Doodle. I had a blast getting to know more about you in depth and actually, sit down and have a proper one-on-one conversation, because I genuinely don't think we've had that. Genuinely, no. I don't think we have. And I'm very...
Energy? Crap! I have to play some VRC after this thing.
Yeah, play after this. Yeah, really play.
Hold up. If they're
a friend of mine. They're a very good friend of mine. So
if they are considering to maybe get on VR chat some and explore a bit, there's some things I would highly recommend you check out, and some of those things might belong to the creator of a certain world that I've been sitting in this entire time. If I can just quickly steal the camera
and just I'll let you show it off real quick.
Move myself around here for a second.
The creator.
Creator's called Xirix. XCIRREX. Yes. And
what is that he makes some. That's pretty cool.
Yes. He makes some pretty cool shit. He does music on Spotify. Highly recommend. Pretty bussin'. And he does some games that I've also been enjoying a lot. And we had a tournament that I told you on Saturday. Kind of went a bit both ways, fun and frustrating, but stuff's good. Stuff's fun. Should check it out sometime.
Yeah, and I plan to do more on VR chat. Again, the biggest thing I don't have time to do it.
I've been sitting in Neon City this entire time.
Yep. As soon as if I ever have more free time, there's so much more content I want to make, and I want to revisit VR chat more often. I don't have time for a lot of the stuff I want to do. I'm trying to fix that, but I work 10-hour shifts 4 days of the week, so yeah. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. I mean, it helps a lot. You guys being here, you do not have to donate money. All I have asked, tune in the streams, help me get monetized on YouTube, just so I can actually finally, after freaking years, hit that goal. I've been trying for years.
May I have a word as well?
Yes, go right ahead.
Thank you for giving this wonderful friend of mine and community to be able to do this. To give him the opportunity to spread himself in ways across the internet that he prefers to do. As in content, entertainment, stuff like that. Thanks to you. You're pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, the fact I didn't think interviews would do. Here's the thing: I knew I'd enjoy them. I didn't think my chats ever would. But I've been proven very wrong. People seem to like listening to my interviews. So, which I don't know why. Maybe it's because it feels kind of like a little mini podcast with a new guest every week. And I'm planning to keep it that way. Big and small creators, I don't care, as long as they're not clout chasing. If I end up finding someone in it during middle interview and I can tell they're clout chasing, I might just end the interview. But let's hope that doesn't happen, chat. Let's hope. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys make these interviews even better than they already are, because seeing that people are enjoying them makes me happy. And as long as my guest is also enjoying them, I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yes, I still would like to keep going because I find it fun. I'm getting more. I want to keep just one more thing.
You're like one more thing.
Because which is like right now because I want to keep continuing since TwitchCon happened, and I'm
going next year or whatever next TwitchCon. Yeah. Not Paris, but the TwitchCon US. That's the next one I'm going to.
Yeah. One thing that happened is when I tried to just hang out with McCrackle and he kept going back into the partner lounge, I would sit in front of the entrance of the partner lounge and just wait. At some point, I thought to myself, how much can I mess with staff until they let me in? And after some time, I had the jacket on. I sat on their chair. I was talking to people. And eventually I had this like tiny crowd around me of people that are just like, who the hell is this? Because you never know, because there's so many people that are like VTubers and stuff that never show their face. Then they had a bunch of people just like look over at me. It's like, who is this guy? And then I have like some kid approach me to want to take a picture or something, or just talk and ask questions. Then we met what was his name, Jimmy? the It's Wednesday, my dudes guy.
Yeah, Jimmy Eat Here, I believe.
Yeah,
that's.
And I asked him how I asked him how does he keep this wonderful hair. And he's just like, oh, I'll brush it every day. I was like, damn, just that, good stuff.
I need to get some. I need to do something about my early male pattern baldness.
And even that it just happened. I was just being wacky and weird and just messing with staff, slowly working myself up the. I literally had the next person and the next person tell me to look for someone with a certain badge that was a higher status of them, to ask them about things, and it was just at the end I was literally just hanging out, just leaning against the wall with staff, with the security and stuff, and just chatting to them.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It was hilarious.
So did you ever get let in the partner lounge?
Nope. They gave a very good reason, because if they would let me in, because I'm a friend of a person that can go in,
they could let anyone in.
They would also have to let everyone else in,
which is not fair. But
so yeah, that's very understandable. So
it's very understandable. Yeah.
Sat outside and waited, but in doing that, I gathered this crowd around me who were just hanging out. We're talking. Some of them like bigger streamers as well. And it was good times, good vibes.
So do you think TwitchCon's worth going to?
For the part,
not for TwitchCon itself, but for the people.
For the people itself, that kind of people, and you also you definitely need to look out for the certain kinds of people that are maybe a bit more malicious and not just chill.
Really? There's a lot of people there.
There's people that go there for content, and they don't care-ish about you.
Yeah, well,
like a lot of influencers and whatever people, they're just like they act.
Yeah,
and it's kind of poisonous to that community.
That's fair, but there are people like that. But I am going to cut you off here before you go on anymore, because I do...
Anyway, I was bouncing around having fun, doing some weird poses, took a lot of pictures, and just do your thing. I will keep doing this.
We could talk more at some other time, especially like if you want... I plan to... Here's the thing. I want to revive my Discord server, which means I plan to hang out there more frequently. So if you ever want to hop in, if you see me in my server, feel free to join on me. And come join the conversation and chat with any of my friends, any of me, just anything. And I'll probably try and drop in on your server too. But yeah. So, thank you everyone so much for watching.
If you ever have game suggestions, just hit me up.
Alright, we'll do.
I mean, you're already doing that.
I mean, I do that a lot with you. You've become someone I can rely on. Be like, hey, Doodle, I have a game that's interesting. You might want to join. And you're like, oh,
if
really?
you're actually messaging me early enough, not when it's right about to happen, and I'm just like,
I know, I'm so sorry. It's just I'm not good at making schedules. I'm not good at making schedules that I can stick to, and I think that I am gonna need to limit myself on how much I stream, because I'm now gonna be editing for 2 channels, actually 3 if I do my news channel. So.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm making news.
That's also a thing I noticed. A lot of people don't have one channel anymore. It's just like.
Well, I do want to separate my news channel, because it can sponsor controversies, and people might not want to see that on my main channel.
Again.
What?
But yeah.
Okay, you're getting ideas.
Tangents.
All right.
Tangents.
Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. It was fun. Looking forward to the next interview, and also please look forward to the podcast I'm releasing later today. We are probably putting it out within at least the next hour. Please watch the first episode. Please, I'm begging. It is such a good podcast. I'm so proud of it. You don't have to watch a whole episode in one setting, but give it a watch. Let me know what you think. And also, if Doodle should be a guest in the comments, because I think Doodle would be a good. Thank you, everyone.
Yay.
And have a good night. This was fun.
Good night, everyone. Y'all take care.
Bye-bye.
Have a good rest of your Sunday.